I've 33F just discovered in the last 36 hours that my best friend 33M of 20 years is a pathological liar and his entire life is a farce. How do I even begin to approach this? I don't know where to start with this, honestly. Yesterday morning I was messaged by a mutual friend, Sam 34 female, expressing concern for our buddy Dylan 33 male. We all went to school together, then moved apart. Sam and I don't talk, but we're friends on social media, and Dylan will mention us to each other now, and then in the way anyone would mention their friends in passing. I had also begun to worry about Dylan lately and had planned to reach out to Sam myself. She just beat me to it. He's always been flaky and bad at keeping plans, and he said stuff in the past that I've known wasn't correct, but it was never a big deal. Like he'd contradict a story he'd told me previously, but it was always small enough that it just didn't bother me and I'd humor him. I mean, people exaggerate for effect sometimes, it's not the end of the world, but it's been getting more and more the last few weeks and I've begun to worry it's a medical concern. He's been erratic, confused, forgetting things and just acting odd. Sam had the same feeling. However, as we started to talk about our worries, we realized stuff wasn't lining up. There were things that he'd told me and not her, and vice versa, or different versions of the same story. We started digging deeper and realized the lies stretch back at least 10 years that we know of. The lies range from the city he lives in, his job and his finances, to marriage, abuse, and cancer. He told me he had eloped with his partner and got married. He told Sam nothing of this, despite telling me she and I would be bridesmaids at their wedding before they decided to just do it in Vegas. We reached out to some old friends who neither of us are in touch with but knew he was, and turns out they all distanced themselves from him when they realized they were getting different stories, but none of them knew the depths of it. It was odd and frustrating that I'd never met the partner, but not outside the realms of reality because we live in different countries. Well, I thought, now unsure. I'm now thinking he might not have ever actually left the state even, and they both travel for work and I don't have much money or time to go gallivanting. Same with Sam, she lives in South Africa, so similar experience. We'd spoken to the husband on a different phone number and everything so seemed legit. He had candid photos. We've now realized that they were deep dive pictures from the internet. I actually found the guy on Instagram and spoke to him yesterday. I'd never done this before because it never occurred to me, it didn't seem weird, and he'd never even heard of Dylan. He'd alleged a lot of abuse from this person as well, which is deeply upsetting as he knows I've been in an abusive relationship previously. He also told us about 18 months ago that he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He's told us about surgeries and treatments and remission and it coming back. I've spent so many nights bereft thinking my best friend was going to die. It's now become clear this is not true. Everything he said that's not added up has either been so small I didn't care or assumed he was confused or misunderstanding, or so big you'd never question it, because why on earth would someone do that? Especially since we've known him since we were all kids and he was always so put together, intelligent, successful, generous. But we've realized that it's all illusion. Initially we worried it was maybe head trauma from the long-term abuse or that the cancer had spread to his brain or something, but the depth and breadth of it, plus the realization that the cancer is a lie, we're now not so sure. Here is where we need advice. We've reached out to a few of his family members. We figure the way to go about this is to come from a place of concern and wanting to get him help, which is true. He's obviously not well and we don't want to just abandon him, and get some clarification on some stuff and figure out next steps. However, I'm pretty sure the messages have gone into message requests and they've not been notified as none of them have been read. We don't have any other contact details for his family members, and the people in his life that he speaks to us about, we don't know who they are, they'll just be referred to by first name. I've been avoiding him all day after he had a medical emergency, but wouldn't let me speak to anyone else there, and I just needed the space today to figure shit out. We've been figuring more stuff out today, but what do we do if his family don't respond? Neither of us are confrontational, and we both still care and want him to get help even if we can't continue to be his friends once he's accessed support. We can't abandon him. Also, if his family does respond, how much do we reveal? One of the other things we're not certain about was an infant death, and we don't know how to go about finding that out, if at all. My life has truly been blown up the last day, and I just feel lost and sad, and neither Sam nor I know what the fuck to do in this bizarre situation.